Here it is, Canon 5D Mark IV. So without any further delay, just like always in my reviews, let's take a look how it performs. Image quality, dynamic range, high ISO, video and everything else. In terms of specifications, some things have changed a lot while others remain the same. Mark IV has the brand new 30 megapixels image sensor, an update we've been waiting for a long time. Upgraded face detect autofocus system together with dual pixel autofocus for live view and video recording, new touch LCD, faster burst, better video specifications and built-in Wi-Fi and GPS. Everything else like handling, build quality or menu system remained practically the same as it was on Mark III, and that is a good thing since it was already perfect in my opinion. This is a big camera with a large grip and handles great with heavier lenses even without the better grip. Let's take a look at image quality. Time I spent with Mark IV was disappointingly short, but it was enough to realize it might be the best Canon ever in terms of overall image quality. Familiar Canon colors are here. Out of all the cameras, Canon and Olympus have the most realistic and pleasing colors I have seen. I can leave them to look neutral or tweak them as much as I want without much penalty for image quality. In everyday use up to ISO 3200 I wouldn't even care what ISO is selected. It is that good. When needed I used up to ISO 12800 and got perfectly usable shots. Even 25600 looks really usable. I'd say 5D Mark IV is maybe a full stop better than 6D in low light, depending on particular scene. And now, infamous dynamic range. I did what no photographer in his right state of mind would do, and that is underexposing a photo by 5 stops and lifting exposure by the same 5 stops in Photoshop Camera Raw. As you can see, results are very pleasing. Noise is not an issue and colors look realistic, but there still is bending. Upper left corner, do you notice it? Of course, this is extreme shadow lifting. I am not sure when would anyone need to lift exposure by 5 stops, but there you have it. Here's a comparison with my 6D. Bending is still here, but the image has significantly more noise. And now, grab the popcorns because the next comparison will be interesting. This is the same scene from Canon 80D. There isn't a single trace of bending. Yes, overall noise is visibly stronger and there is yellowish color cast in darker parts of the image, but not a single line of bending or color noise is introduced. I dare to say 80D might even be a bit better when lifting shadows compared to 5D Mark IV, but in real life Mark IV will always make better image, with less noise and better colors. It is just that Mark IV will still show some bending if you really push it too hard. Video recordings look really good both in Full HD and 4K resolutions, but there are differences in favor of 4K. Do you see moire on the roof tiles on the left of the screen? There is none of it in 4K. Video also looks cleaner with less artifacts in 4K and of course there is much more detail. This camera has all the manual controls, but still no zebra, peaking or flat picture profile. Don't worry, I am sure Magic Lantern will be released very soon. 4K is a welcomed upgrade, but there are two problems. First, it records in heavy crop, around 1.7 times what is more than APS-C crop, and that sucks big time. You can see right now how much is lost when switched between HD and 4K. I mean, that's fine if you need telephoto reach, but it dramatically changes field of view on every single one of your lenses and makes recording ultra-wide-angle shots really challenging. Second problem regards video file format, which uses motion JPEG. 4K video files are mind-bogglingly huge. 1 minute of 4K video will use 4 GB on your memory card. At high ISO, Mark IV performs excellent. Up to ISO 1600 I couldn't notice any noise. At 3200 I think I see something, but wouldn't even care about it, and the same can be said for 6400. At ISO 12800 noise can be seen, but is still very low and only 25600 shows visible noise. Still usable though. Dual pixel autofocus is a game changer in my opinion. It makes Canon the only brand on the market to have truly usable autofocus in DSLR or mirrorless cameras for video recording. It allows for relatively fast focusing in video mode, and yet it has very soft transitions. There are no sudden focus jumps, which look really distracting on video. Here's how it looks when the camera focuses from one corner to another by itself. And this is slow transition. I was pulling my finger across touch LCD and camera was following it. Really great stuff. It works equally good with STM and USM lenses as far as I have tried. Autofocus uses 61 points, 41 of which are cross-type. It is sensitive down to -3 EV as central point and works at f8 for teleconverter combinations. It can also recognize faces using its 150,000 pixel light metering sensor. There really are a lot of configuration options and it will take some time for you to master it properly. Once you do, I have no doubt you will need more than this, as this is essentially the same system from previous flagship 1DX. With all the lenses I tried on this camera, all of them focused properly. I had no need to use micro adjustment. LCD has 3 inches diagonal and 1.6 million dots. It is extremely sharp and detailed with absolutely perfect viewing angles. Touch control works flawlessly and is active for all camera operations, from focusing to many items or playback. Optical viewfinder is big, bright and full of informations. Aside from usual status line at the bottom, Mark IV can show overlay of grid lines, virtual horizon and various settings in the lower part of the finder, something already seen on 7D Mark II. You can change settings like drive modes, white balance or light metering without removing the camera from your face. Here's a quick demonstration of shutter sounds. Mark IV accepts 2 cards at the same time, compact flash and SD. They can work in overflow, backup mode, or you can choose to record different file formats on each card. RAW on one, JPEG on the other, or images and videos separately. Keep in mind there might be issues when recording 4K video on SD card due to transfer speeds. Compact flash is recommended for 4K video. Battery is a well-known LPE6N unit, which is strong enough for around 900 shots. All of the connectors are on the left side. Mark IV has 3.5mm input for microphone, headphones output, HDMI output, USB 3.0 connector, flash sync connector and input for wired remote. Here's a quick look at some of the more interesting menu items. There are 3 RAW resolutions, 30, 17 and 7.5 megapixels. Great to accelerate transfer and post-processing speeds when full resolution is not needed. Camera can correct all the imperfections of the lenses thanks to built-in profiles. This applies only to JPEG images. ISO control is really good. Natively it goes from 100 to 32,000. Auto ISO can have lower and upper values set as you like, and shutter speed at which the change occurs can be set manually to a value between 1/8000 to 1 second, or be left at auto mode, in which the camera will choose accordingly to focal length of the lens. Additionally, in custom controls there are options to limit camera between certain shutter speeds or aperture values. Timer for interval shooting is now built in, a really nice detail. GPS is built in, and besides geotagging all of your images, it can record a log file of your movement. Great stuff for landscape or photojournalists. Locking switch can be programmed. I used it only to lock touch LCD. A good deal of controls can be reassigned, but not as much as we've seen on Sony, Olympus or Panasonic cameras. I don't think that's a problem, since control placement is already pretty much perfect on Canon. New option I saw for the first time on a Canon is to retract the lens once the power has been switched off. This has effect only on lenses which extend when focusing, like my 50mm STM. Altogether, I am very pleased with 5D Mark IV. It has everything a working photo professional would need. New sensor really shows significant improvement in dynamic range and has one of the best high ISO performances on the market. Autofocus system seems to be advanced and reliable, and the entire camera is built to withstand years of heavy use. What I think might have been made better is video. Yes, it has dual pixel autofocus, which is unbelievably good, and if you need autofocus during video, this might be the right camera for you. HD video quality is okay, but doesn't look that good when compared to 4K. 4K, on the other hand, is limited to a heavy crop and outrageously large files. There are no zebra, peaking or flat profiles. It is obvious Canon keeps all these things for its EOS cinema cameras, but at 5D Mark IV's price point I think these features should be built in. Overall, this is more of a photographer's than video camera, and if used that way, I doubt you will ask for more in the years to come. That's all for this review. If you have a question, feel free to ask me in the comment section below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you want to support my work, buy stuff on Amazon using my affiliate links below this video. You will not pay any more than otherwise, but I will get a small percentage from every purchase. Thanks for watching.